Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, Wanted to come on here and address and deal with and talk about something that we all know recently what happened to Ahmaud Arbery and the tragic murder that took place, which is just one of many murders that have happened. Typically, I don't come out and do public statements or address issues like this publicly. Those who know me privately know where I stand on matters like this and the ramifications and the injustices that have occurred. But a very close family member reached out to me and asked me to talk about it from a different perspective and a mental health perspective, which ultimately led me to pray to calm myself down and to be able to hopefully articulate this in a broader matter, to where it not only helps justice take place, but also gives people understanding and clarity. Here in my office, and of course, like many, went through a range of emotions of of what happened. Primarily anger, primarily sadness, rage to a degree. Just how sad it is. And as a clinician, I sit here in my office and I counsel people day in and day out. I diagnose people. I help people with their problems, and there is a real problem here that no one is talking about, that I want to address from a public health perspective, that people need to know. Oftentimes, I have conversations with my wife, my mother-in-law, and I tell them, as a black man in America, every day I make decisions that nobody has to make. When I'm not working my regular job, if I'm going outside, I think about what attire I want to put on, simply because I don't want to draw attention to myself, so to speak, that would lead people to think I'm some type of criminal or some type of thug or some type of hooligan. People don't know what that reality is like, to have to wonder what you're going to wear and how you will be treated based upon what you wear. That is a plight that us as African American males especially have to deal with, but African Americans overall. People don't understand that every day, most of us, we walk outside with fear. We walk outside with anxiety. We walk outside wondering if the crime rate doesn't get us, will the system, or will racism, or will something destroy us? But I digress on that matter. Here's what I want to really address. A lot of people have this stereotype about us as black people, that we are angry, or we are a little rough around the edges, or we are dangerous, or we are very aggressive in nature. Let me tell you why that is true. I read a post today on Facebook, and many of you probably have seen the same post, where it said, "We're tired. Black people, we're tired." And it went through a list of all the injustice, all of the senseless killings that didn't have to take place. And I want to help you understand something from a clinician perspective. I want to talk to this because this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and this is what I'm passionate about, and this is what I get paid to do, is to counsel and to help people understand their emotions. Here's the reality of the situation. It is a very well-known fact that trauma can lead to mental health issues. Trauma can lead to anxiety. Trauma can lead to depression. Trauma can lead to anger issues. Trauma can lead to all those different things. Why am I bringing up the fact of trauma? Understand, trauma is just short for traumatic. For years, we as African Americans have dealt with trauma, from slavery to Jim Crow to the justice system. All these different things have affected us. It has affected us. We have had to deal with existential plights that most have not had to deal with. Why am I bringing that up? Here's another keynote that people need to understand. Did you know that mental health issues not only are caused by trauma, but they are also passed down chemically through the body? Let me prove that to you. Have you ever gone to the doctor and they said, do you have anybody with suicidal issues in the family? Why are they asking you about family members who are suicidal? You would think that suicide is an isolated type of thing. No, it is a mental health condition that is passed down. Just like addiction, they ask, is there anybody in your family with addiction issues? Why is that asked? That is asked because if you have people in your family with a history of mental health conditions, it could have been passed down to you. So they have to have a family history to help identify if it is a possible trait that you may have that makes you more susceptible to having the same type of condition. Here's why I want to go back to the trauma of the African American person. We have dealt with trauma all these different years. And the reason that we are rough around the edges, the reason that we are angry, the reason that we deal with, we come off the way we come off, it is because we have an underlying condition of mental illness that has been caused by the trauma due to the disenfranchisement, to the injustices, to all the things that have happened to our forefathers and our family members. And because it happened to them, it has continued to be passed down, and with everything that is happening recently, it continues to manifest itself because we are constantly triggered. Every day is a trigger for us. When we see certain things, when certain things happen, it triggers us. And so we have underlying anxiety issues, rightfully so. Because we're tired of all the things that continue to happen to us. And so I just want to address this from a mental health perspective. Understand that if you want us to change, if you want us to be a certain way, if you want us to respond differently, if you want us to do things a little bit differently, here's the thing. Stop doing the things to us that trigger us to continue to have the issues that we constantly have. We are human beings. We have human rights, and to be gunned down like animals because we're jogging. I literally said today I was getting ready to start running again. And I said, now I don't even feel comfortable running in my own neighborhood. I live in a very suburban area, in a very nice neighborhood, but it is predominantly Caucasian. And the people out here in Florida where I'm at, they ride four-wheelers, and you see Confederate flags, and you see types of things. And I'm not judging them, but based upon what I see and what just happened, it has triggered an emotive response from me to say, Chris, it's not even safe to go running around your own neighborhood. And here I am, a well-educated man that doesn't even want to go run because I have been triggered by what I've seen. So if I'm educated, know about mental health, have been triggered because of a situation like this, understand that there are several other people that aren't as educated, but have been triggered by all the things that have happened to their forefathers, and they struggle with anxiety, they struggle with depression, they struggle with anger, and rightfully so, because it's sad that this has to happen at a time like this. And so to my African American brothers and sisters, understand that I understand where you're coming from. I understand the hurt, the pain, the anxiety. If you need help, I want to help coach you through this. I want to help counsel you through this. To anyone who is trying to justify what has taken place and what has been taking place, I would encourage you to look deep inside of you and see where something went wrong, and why you want to justify bloodshed and death when there are so many different ways. And so I hope I articulated this real well, because it's still a very emotional thing for me. But I want you to understand that the reason we are the way we are is because of years of trauma, and it has caused underlined and prevalent mental health issues. So we have to be a little aggressive. We have to be a little tougher. We have to come off a little rougher. Why? Because we're afraid for our life every single day. And it shouldn't have to be that way. And so I hope this helps somebody. I hope that as you watch this, you get some knowledge. And if you need to reach out to me, hit me up on whatever platform you're watching this on, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I don't know. It's going to go everywhere. Wherever you're watching this, I love to talk with you and help counsel you through any emotion that you're dealing with. Man, God bless y'all.